All right, down here. Okay. Fred, take the ball right here. Let me get that ball, Chance. Okay. Chance, be on defense right here. Okay. So, he's left-handed, okay? But for defensive purposes, what you want to do is take away any middle drives, okay? So when you're defending a live ball situation, okay, this hand right here is going to be connected right to your hip here, okay? This foot is going to be a little bit outside his stance here, because if this foot is splitting his stance, you're going to get beat middle, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? So this hand is here, you're slightly outside his stance to angle or to shade him this way, okay? This hand is going to be long and wide, okay? This hand you use to stab at the ball quickly. You're not stabbing to steal the ball, you're stabbing to disrupt his rhythm, okay? Does that make sense? What did I just say?
Stabbing to disrupt his rhythm.
Okay, good. At least he's paying attention. So I'm here, if he's dribbling, take a couple dribbles, just in place. Here, I'm not going like this though, okay? Because now I'm out of my stance, right? And he can get back middle. All I'm doing is here, boom, I'm back, right? I'm never too far forward right here to allow the guy to get back middle, okay? Does that make sense to everybody, okay? Now the other thing is when you stab or when you swipe, you never swipe this way, okay? Because if you swipe this way, a guy's gonna get a swipe up foul. You swipe quickly here and back, okay? Here and back, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, now the other thing is when he starts his drive on his first step, this foot is gonna cross step, okay? So like when we warm up, go ahead, go. It's this, and then I'm beating him to the second spot, okay? If you try to beat a quick guard to the first spot, you're gonna lose the battle, okay? So like, if I'm guarding him, take the ball real quick. He's quicker than me, so if I try to go, take off and step slide, I'm gonna get beat. Does that make sense? Okay, so most of y'all had that problem this past weekend where you couldn't keep the ball in front, okay? So if he goes, go, I'm here, okay? Does that make sense with that quick cross step? The counter is gonna be basically like pull the ball back. I go here, he pulls it back. If he shoots that, I'm living with that. Does that make sense? High school, college, NBA, doesn't matter. I'm gonna live with a cross step, pull back three right here, because I'll be second off the ground. Does that make sense? So my goal is to get to that next spot right there to cut him off, to make him change direction, okay? Or to pass it, all right? Does that make sense to everybody? Any questions? Okay, so where should this foot be your inside foot?
It should be not split him, it should be like outside.
Slightly outside. You don't want to be too much like this here because that's giving up a straight line drive, right? If I'm right outside this foot slightly in this stance, I'm good. Now the other thing is you can't be like this with your left hip where it's open, right? Because I'm just giving up a straight line drive. Does that make sense? This foot still has to be up here and you take off, boom, and I'm getting to this spot. Does that make sense? Okay. Now the last part is this hand. The Miami Heat probably did it the best, is he starts his drive, I'm here, let's say he starts to beat me, I'm on his hip, this hand stays like this wide and long because I'm taking away any finishing or passes, right? Because if he goes to finish, I keep this hand wide, that's a tough finish versus this, okay? But I'm not reaching to block the shot. All I'm doing is making him finish over my length and my arm, okay? Does that make sense to everybody, okay? And to take away any passing vision. Okay, so Chance be here, Fred be here, Lachlan be there, Brock be here, Josh be on defense, and get the NBA ball. Okay, Caleb be there, Hampton be on this side. So defensively, you're gonna be a little outside his stance, okay? This hand can stab, all right? Offensively, you're gonna be like this, okay? So he's guarding me, you're gonna be like this. You can take off whenever you want, okay? When you take off, your goal is to get to the rim, okay? So unless he stops you, keep going, okay? The only way you're gonna make him better as a defender is to go full speed and actually try to beat somebody, okay? If you do it half-assed like this, from just here, that's not gonna help him out, okay? If he can't stop you, keep going at him nonstop, okay? Offensively, also, this is where you use that shoulder to get into a body right here. So I'm here, so his stance is already too wide. Once I take off, I should be this. Yeah, like that's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. But this shoulder should be trying to get into a body right here. Any questions, okay? This side will go first, and then this side will go after them, okay?